Broadcasting from Millvale Studios, you are listening to Funny Money on the River's Edge Network. I'm your host, Tom Henry, and with us is our producer, Brian Crawford. Today we want to talk about, alternative radio, I guess. But, and by that, we're going to talk about two companies in particular, Pandora and SiriusXM. But to get to where we are now, like in the evolution of, I would say, like the music business, it's important to recognize how much has changed over the last 20 years, where artists could make a lot of money, because they would have an album. People would have to buy the whole album, whether it be in CD form or tape form before that. So they would get very significant royalties off of each album that's sold. Whereas what happened was the dawn of the internet and file sharing kind of really started eating into their profits, because everyone was pirating music, and it was super easy. So then, you had the advent of iTunes, but artists get they get paid, they get royalties for selling on iTunes, but it turns out it's so much less. I mean, because people can buy one song, they don't have to, they can pick and choose. Album, yeah. Right. So it's much less for the artist, but on the other hand, it enables a lot of artists who would never be known to get exposure. So, it has pros and cons. I would say it's definitely better for the consumer, and probably worse for the artist and worse for the industry.
Well, I think it's worse maybe for the large artists. I don't know if,
right.
The smaller artists, they now have the opportunity to get their music out worldwide, whereas before you were at the mercy of some record company.
No, that's absolutely true. Yeah. That's the pro that goes with that for the artist. So yeah, and you're right. It's whether you look at the hit artists or the lesser known artists who can get exposure now. So to get to Pandora, all right. When we start talking about Pandora, the first thing I want to talk about is, what does Pandora mean? Also. My sources here are Wikipedia and WSJ.com, which is Wall Street Journal's website. So Pandora in Greek translates to all endowed. And that doesn't mean like, they have like penises
big
all
junk,
over them.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like that are huge. No, it means like all, every skill that you can imagine you have is there.
I'm sure there's some guy in corporate, though, who definitely uses that as, like, his pickup line, like...
Pandora.
Yeah, I work for Pandora. That means well-endowed.
Right. But at the same time, in Greek mythology, Pandora is a woman. So well-endowed isn't what you want.
And that's kind of harder to... say you were like, well-endowed in other areas.
Oh, right.
But that's harder to kind of use as a pickup line, because it's you could see that.
Right.
In some way,
Right.
Not like, most people don't just walk around hanging with it, hanging out there.
Right. No, normally. Most people don't. Yeah. Except maybe on the golf course sometimes. All right. So, Pandora, okay, in Greek mythology, she was the first human woman created by the gods. All right, so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
All the gods joined in offering her seductive gifts. That was how it was put. So, like, I'm not sure what that means. Sounds interesting. Okay.
Well endowed.
Now, but there's a story about Pandora, and I don't know if you've ever heard of the term Pandora's box.
Oh, yes, okay.
Pandora's box. Now, that doesn't refer to... Well, anyway, let's just say it refers to this box that she got as a gift, and when she opens it, all the evils of the world flew out, leaving only hope inside. Once she closed it again. So
I see.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You open it, all the evils come out. Just hope.
But
Says a little-
she's safe though. Everybody else is screwed. But
All right. So there was just one thing inside her box when she closed it again. In the year 2000, Will Glazer, John Kraft, and Tim Westergren founded a company called Savage Beat Technologies. The company quickly ran through its initial $2 million in funding and ran out of money completely in 2001. So,
and why is it that like everything
In
in
1
music
year.
like is Savage? Like there's so many companies that have the name Savage attached.
Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Have
weird.
you heard it as like a synonym for cool?
Okay.
Like that's savage. Have you ever heard
and,
that?
I haven't. No, but
It's
I'm
bouncing around.
Yeah, I'm not very good at the lingo.
You're
of
so
that,
savage.
It's kind of like ratchet. That's a new term.
Oh
You've
yeah.
heard the term ratchet, right?
Like how?
It means like you're ghetto.
Oh
But
yeah.
instead of saying
Oh,
ghetto,
so
now
ratchet.
you're a tool. Yeah, like you're some sort of like you're a ratchet. Oh, she's so ratchet. That doesn't even make any sense. A ratchet is
never
something
heard
that
that.
you use to like. Oh, trust
Yeah.
me, it's like going. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah,
on
it's-
the rage. Yeah,
Yeah, it's spreading like wildfire.
it is. Yes.
All right. So, oh yeah. So it is kind of interesting the way they put this. When she opens her box, all the evils of the world flew out. Okay. In 2000, they founded the company. They ran out of money by 2001. All right. So, in order to, keep the company going, Tim Westergren had to convince the 50 employees to work for the Savage Beast for 2 years without pay.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I would not be working there.
I don't think I would be able to do that. Yeah. At first, the company licensed technology to third parties. Like this is what they were doing to make money, or they weren't. But they were spending money more than they were making it. So they would license technology to third parties like AOL, Best Buy, Barnes and Noble, and Tower Records, which was a thing back then. So in 2004. They decided to embrace the founder's vision of producing customized radio stations and change their name to Pandora Media.
Okay.
Okay. The website began as only a paid service, like you subscribe to it. But then it quickly changed to a free service with ads. The first users really liked it, and word of mouth began to spread about how good the service was. The service plays music selections. I don't know if do you use Pandora?
I used to anymore. I don't know why. It's too much work.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds terrible to say, but like they, like if you're listening too long, they're like, "Hey, are you really listening?" Because
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
to pay people, and it's like, I don't want to go over and click that button. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's so inconvenient. I know that's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the height of laziness, and then it's like I don't want to like thumb up or down. I just want to.
It has some right. I totally sympathize with that. I don't really use it much,
I used to when it first
Just
came
occasionally.
out. Yeah. Plus, it used to be easier to like actually look up a song if you wanted to hear like a particular song.
Yeah.
And now it's like you put in the song that you want in, and they're like, "Oh, we'll give you someone completely different, a different artist." But we think that they're similar.
We think that they're gonna, and you don't,
and it's like
and it's not.
no, and it's not. And,
Good.
and it's one thing if that's like, I like how they lead you into different artists so you get to experience them and get exposed to them, but not right off the bat. If you particularly,
Right.
put in an artist and it's like, and then they're like, no, you want this one.
Well, let me explain the basics of the service to those who don't know. The service plays music selections of a certain genre based on the user's artist selection. So, like you put in, you love a band. Say you love the Rolling Stones. Okay, so you put in the Rolling Stones, and then it has like the Rolling Stones station, and it plays songs, and it plays bands that they think are similar to the Rolling Stones in certain ways. And then what you do, the user then provides positive or negative feedback, thumbs up or thumbs down, for songs chosen by the service. And the feedback is taken into account in the subsequent selection of other songs to play. Okay? So, then it has all kinds of formulas in there saying this song is like 10% like this song, this song is 80% like this one or whatever. And this artist is like this artist. So, they try and expose you maybe to music that you hadn't heard but
Which I
would
like that part. Yeah, I do like that part of it.
So, right. So that is kind of good and interesting. I really like. I'm kind of finicky about music, so Pandora doesn't quite cut it for me. I just download from iTunes music that I really like, and I usually actually listen to. I like Sirius XMU, which is a station on Sirius XM.
It's like a college one.
Yeah, it's the college one, right? And they have a lot of good new music. If you want that exposure, and you can get it there, and then look it up on iTunes. But
I strongly suggest that people listen to The River's Edge.
yes, listen to The River's Edge, and download stuff on The River's Edge on iTunes.
Yes, that's right.
So Pandora exploded in popularity in 2010 and 2011. And in 2011, Pandora launched its IPO on the New York Stock Exchange. In April of 2013, so 2 years later, Pandora announced their service had passed 200 million users, about 70 million of whom were active monthly. All right, so very good. By December 2013, Pandora accounted for 70% of all internet radio.
Wow.
And 8% of total radio listening in the United States.
Wow, that's insane.
Now, here's one thing they did not do. Make money.
Yeah.
The whole time, they still haven't been able to really make money. They haven't been able to, get enough advertising revenue to cover their expenses. So...
How do they stay in business? Because the thing is it's not cheap to pay, all of those royalties, especially when you're not bringing in any money.
Well, they have positive equity. They sold, their IPO was a tremendous splash, and they were able to raise a lot of money from the IPO.
Okay.
And, in fact, today the stock is valued, the market cap, which is the value of all the stock, is $2.75 billion. So that's like what the market says the company is worth.
Okay.
All right. Now, that might be overvalued, but this has come down. The stock was $30 in 2014. Today it's $11.91. However, still no earnings. So the PE is infinite because there's no E. So there's no earnings. There's price, but no earnings. There's no dividend. The return on invested capital is 0. Or, it would be negative because they lost money in 2016, as usual. Now, here's one good thing. Net debt to equity, only 19%. So the balance sheet is in good shape. All these years of losing money.
Wow.
And they're, brushing it off okay. And that's largely because of the money that they raised from selling stock. Now, fiscal year 2017, they're expected to lose 43 cents per share versus losing $1.49 in 2016. Progress. However, it's still negative. And I can't see why. I agree with your question. I don't see why this stock is valued anything like this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's crazy. The only decent thing is the balance sheet. Everything else is bad, no earnings. I don't like to buy companies with no earnings.
You don't like to buy
You
a
gotta
company
stay
that
away.
doesn't make any money.
I mean, only in certain circumstances.
Uh-huh.
Okay, one would be like a startup that like has some awesome technology that you're confident that's gonna like really make a splash. Mm-hmm. Okay, because it takes a while to get going. You start out losing money, but do not buy Pandora. Stay away. It's dangerous. All right. Our next selection is Sirius XMU, and we're going to get to that right after this little break.
Hey, listen up for some sweet pizza discounts. The River's Edge is partnering with Frank's Pizza and Chicken to offer you 10% off your ZA. That's short for pizza.
Seriously? ZA?
What?
Anyway, mention you heard this ad and Frank's will give you 10% off your order of $15 or more.
Oh my god, have you tried their famous buffalo chicken pizza?
Oh, don't even get me started. Can you name all 4 Frank's locations?
Millville, obviously. Troy Hill, Shaler, and North Hills.
Gold Star. Anyway, support the River's Edge Radio Network by ordering from Frank's Pizza and Chicken the next time you get hungry for some ZA. And don't forget to mention you heard this ad so you get your 10% off. Go to frankspizzachicken.com for more info.
Offer good for a limited time. Order must be $15 or more for taxes. Cannot be combined with other discounts or offers. Other legal jargon and whatnot.
Come on, go! It's green! Come on! Go!
God damn it, Brian. You need to calm down
I'm
with the road
sick of
rage.
these people, these assholes.
The road rage, man. You gotta calm down on the road rage.
Well, I'm on I want to get to where we're going. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. We're going to Falling Water,
Bicycle heaven.
the Mattress Factory,
Tuck knob.
Trundle Manor. All right, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Come on,
right,
come on.
right.
Too late now.
Right, come on.
Too late now. I gotta keep going. I'm not gonna sit here like some asshole.
Oh, come on, man.
All right, you're listening to the Culture Cruise. You can find us at riversedgepgh.com.
Your local Pittsburgh area museum podcast.
Yes, riversedgepgh.com, and come take a ride with us.
Welcome back. And so I want to talk about Sirius XM Radio. Actually Sirius XM Media, which is the
Is that the name
parent
of the parent company? Yeah.
So
Are there any other satellite radio services out there besides Sirius XM?
actually, I mean, they're it as far as satellite radio in the
Yeah.
United States.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
So it's because it requires significant initial investment.
Yeah.
Now, Sirius and Pandora have a connection, just the names, in that they are both related to ancient.
Really?
Greece.
I did not know that about Sirius.
So Pandora, what I didn't say about like why, it's called Pandora. It
Yeah.
is because Pandora's box. It was sort of like. You open a gift, you never know. Anything can come out.
Okay. That makes
so
sense,
like
yeah.
any song.
Any song can come out. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. It's actually clever.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
Think about it.
Now, Sirius is a Romanization. So Sirius would be from the Romans of the Greek Sirios, which means glowing or scorching.
Oh, okay.
It's also a star system and the brightest star in the Earth's night sky. All right. Now, with that in mind, we're going to talk about the founder, Martine Rothblatt. So, it's pretty, in the companies that we've talked about, there have been a few, but, the vast majority have been founded by men. But in this case, it is not a man.
Oh, so a female invented this.
Yes. Martine Rothblatt was born in Chicago to Rosalie and Hal Rothblatt, a dentist. The family moved, and Martine spent most of her childhood growing up in a suburb of San Diego. It's pretty nice, San
Yeah.
Diego. Rothblatt.
Good things.
Yeah. Once again, this is still sourced from Wikipedia and WSJ.com, which is Wall Street Journal's website. Also, but as by the way, I don't own either of these stocks.
Okay.
And never have. Okay, so Rothblatt got into UCLA, which is a great school, but left college after 2 years and traveled throughout Europe, Turkey. She didn't know what she was what she really
what she wanted to
her
do.
passion. So she was kind of on a life quest. Europe.
So she comes from money too, because
Yeah.
nobody just goes on a life quest around the world.
Well, her dad's a dentist.
Yeah.
Europe, Turkey, Iran, Kenya, and the Seychelles. Now, if you don't know, the Seychelles are an archipelago that is off the coast of East Africa.
Okay.
Okay, and it was at the NASA tracking station in the Seychelles during the summer of 1974 that Martine had her epiphany, and that was to unite the world via satellite communications.
Okay.
All right. Yes. So that was like before We Are the World. Mm-hmm. But she still had that thought. Okay. So she then went back to UCLA and graduated summa cum laude in communication studies in 1977. And that's like the highest. You have to be like an amazing student to do that. And she had a thesis, undergrad thesis, on international direct broadcast satellites, interestingly. Also, as an undergraduate at UCLA, she became a convert to Gerard K. O'Neill's High Frontier plan for space colonization. After analyzing his 1974 article in Physics Today on the concept of space colonization, and she did that for a project in school.
Okay.
But she subsequently became a member of the L5 Society, which is this like kind of a secretive society that is, organizing for the necessary space colonization that the world must do at some point in the future here.
Oh,
So, okay. So she's part of that.
she's involved in a lot of weird things.
So, Martine then went on to get her law degree and MBA, both, in a joint program, 4-year program at UCLA. So that you got to be pretty smart for that too. She then went to work for a DC law firm, and then NASA, among others.
What hasn't she done? She's like the G.I. Jane of like business.
Yeah,
Innovators,
and science. Yeah.
Like, okay, so she's more like the female version of Johnny Quest, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
Like traveled the country
Yeah.
as, somebody in the family with a science background, or she herself,
Yeah, I
all
could
of
see
these.
that. Right. Or like Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Where
right.
do you get that?
Well, Wonder Woman like came from another planet, right?
Okay, yeah, sure. Or no, she was an Amazon. She came from
She's
from an
She
island.
came from the Amazon River.
some sort of
No,
Amazon.
she came from a planet,
Did she? I thought she came from like an Amazon.
like Amazon women on the moon.
Was she? I thought she came from a planet
No, I
on
don't-
Earth.
I don't
I'm
know.
looking
I don't
this
know.
up.
I don't know. You got me.
I thought for sure.
I don't know. What's the origin story for Wonder Woman?
You should know this.
All right. But no, I wasn't really making that analogy seriously. So,
Amazonian people in her homeland. What is her homeland? I gotta find this out now. You keep going. I'll find
Okay,
out. I'm gonna
okay.
find out where Wonder Woman
all
is
right.
from.
Bust in when you find out.
All right.
All right. In 1990, she founded a company called Satellite CD Radio in Washington, D.C. The company was the first to petition. Yeah, this is the reason it's in D.C., because it's lobbying. It's the first to petition the FCC to assign unused frequencies for satellite radio broadcast. So at that time, it was impossible to do satellite radio because of the restrictions. And this caused a big ruckus among the traditional radio stations. They did not want any competition from satellite radio, so they said no, 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 and it was a hard fight. Kept lobbying, and after a while, after 2 years, she left the company to start a medical research foundation. Now, a wireless technology entrepreneur, I co-founded this company, Rogers Wireless, named David Margulies, acquired control of the company shortly thereafter. There was a 6-month interval where they had this other CEO. Margulies renamed the company Sirius and lobbied the FCC to allow satellite radio, which they did.
Wow.
Okay, but that took a while. He then raised, over the course of 5 years, $1.6 billion, which was used to build. See, now that's the big thing. You have to raise $1.6 billion.
Wow.
Which was used to build and launch 3 satellites into elliptical orbit from Kazakhstan in 2000. Can you imagine, like, hey, I need to raise $1.6 billion to launch satellites from Kazakhstan.
Again, Johnny
Yeah, be
Quest
like, get out of here, dude.
type of stuff.
Yeah, right. Right. But now this is the guy CEO. Okay.
Still, Johnny Quest type stuff.
Yeah, totally. In 1997, so going back 3 years before they launched the satellites, the FCC also sold a license to XM satellite radio. So take note, which followed Sirius's example, and put satellites into space. In early 2007, after much speculation, the $13 billion merger of Sirius and XM was announced.
I don't even know how that was legal.
Right.
Antitrust laws, you'd think would step in.
That's what you would think. You would say, oh, no, they considered the entire radio industry.
Yeah.
The industry, not satellite radio as the industry.
No.
And so when you do that, then they're just still a small player in the whole radio industry.
Yeah.
Sounds
like some backhanded deals made that merger possible.
Also, they were both. I was actually interested in that merger and had Sirius. Oh, that's right. I did own Sirius at one point. Sorry about that. I owned Sirius at one point, but the main thing is I don't own it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that merger, both companies were losing money, so you don't have the argument that it's like a monopoly.
Yeah.
Or even a duopoly, because they're losing money.
Mm-hmm. Are they still losing money?
No. Now, yeah, as opposed to Pandora, this is a company that actually makes money.
Yeah.
So they had this huge merger in 2007. And at the time, the nation's only 2 satellite providers reported nearly 14 million combined subscribers.
Uh-huh.
With neither having turned an annual profit. Okay? Now, fast forward to today. All right? It is making money. All right? Now, when you look at the stock, though, okay, so the PE is 36.71.
Mm-hmm.
That right away strikes me as pretty high for this kind of company. All right? Then the return on invested capital, 14.45%. All right. Now, so this story obviously is less attached to the music industry than Pandora's story.
Yes.
Because, Sirius, first of all, they have lots of other things. They have comedy. They have sports. And, they have like...
It's a wide variety, yeah.
News. Okay, so the PE is, a little high. ROIC 14.45%, which is a decent ROIC, except that it's so much lower than the PE that it makes me think that this company is overvalued. I like to see an ROIC of 36 if I see a PE of 36.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know that the company is probably not overvalued, or it's a good sign, but you got to look at the other stuff, which we're about to right now. Dividend, 0.78%. That's not much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little thing. Okay. Balance sheet. Okay. They have $5.64 billion in net debt and no equity.
Oh, wow.
Has negative equity. So that means that the company, the on the company's balance sheet, and this is a bad situation, that the liabilities are more than the assets, meaning, they have these radio stations that make a certain amount of money, but the value of those isn't worth as much as all the debt they've accumulated.
Okay.
So, meaning that the debt really is more important than the stock, in my opinion. Because at that point, it's almost like the bank has control of the company, or to some extent, as a shareholder, you're giving up some sort of control to the banks because they're the ones who say, hey, in order to for us to not call in your loan, you have to do X, Y, and Z. So I don't like that situation at all as a potential shareholder. But on the right side, they are expected to grow their earnings 13% in 2017, which is good, but not nearly good enough to overcome the other problems, like the fact that it's valued too highly, and the fact that, that's the main thing. Obviously, that's all encompassing, but the balance sheet, it is very unsafe. You can't weather a storm with a balance sheet like that. And if there were one, this company is going to have to reorganize, and the shareholders will be left in the cold.
Wow.
So stay away once again.
Well, one thing also I wonder with Sirius is looking forward, into the future. I feel like their future can't be that great, especially as cell phone providers are making streaming unlimited again, data and things like that. I feel like, I'm not trying to pump myself up, but, with the internet radio stations, not just ours here, but other ones, they're providing a lot of alternative options, and it's not, old school radio flooded with commercials and
I agree.
And offering unique music that you're not getting on old school, old-fashioned, archaic radio.
Now,
So-
a lot of Sirius's earnings, I agree. I agree that the future
Is bleak.
is limited for them,
Yeah.
but a lot of their earnings are generated from car sales because
Yeah, it's in the car.
GM and certain companies have contracts with Sirius to put it in the car right away. And then the more new cars are sold, the more subscribers they get because people get exposed to it, and then they want to keep it, and they keep getting the service. So,
But I even wonder how long of a shelf life that has, because with apps with programs like TuneIn Radio, which we're on, there are radios that you can buy on the shelf at Walmart that have TuneIn built into them.
wow.
And you can actually just look up the River's Edge on a regular radio like you would doing the dial, or like you would with the Sirius one.
Yeah.
You can find it. And a lot of cars now are being made with internet in the car.
Don't invest in Sirius. We are the future.
That's right. No, but I'm just really thinking I feel like I feel like internet radio could really cut into their business.
I agree 100% that it's like buying, well, I guess this is kind of ridiculous. It's like buying Blockbuster Video or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like near the end where they're still they're making money, but how long is the music going to keep playing?
Yeah, and I don't think Sirius is in any kind of jeopardy at
No,
this point,
I don't think
but
so,
I'm just thinking in the long-term future.
Right.
And again, it's not even just to say anything about us, it's just in general. I'll go through before, this existed. I would go onto my iTunes, and this is before they changed their radio to try to match other people's, but before they used to have literally have internet radio stations, and you used to be able to find all sorts of weird stations. They had a Zelda music radio
Really?
station that was just Zelda
music? Oh my
yeah, from
God.
the different games.
Yeah.
They had the weirdest stuff. So
That's
if you were
pretty
looking
wild.
for alternative
Yeah, you could
sources,
really
and it was
find
all
it.
free. You
That's
didn't
awesome.
have to pay for any of it. So
That's nice. Yeah, I know. I will say I kind of like the satellite radio.
if I had, it's something I've considered in the
Yeah,
past,
yeah.
and I used to actually. It's funny because I didn't want to pay for the full satellite radio, but there were a couple stations that I liked, and
Yeah.
they were available on AOL. So I was paying for AOL monthly,
Oh,
even
no.
though I wasn't using the internet. I would just sign on through my broadband because
Yeah.
it was cheaper than paying for Sirius.
really?
And I got the couple stations that I wanted because they had a deal with
Oh,
Sirius.
that's cool.
So yeah, so I had paid for AOL for like a year or two.
Yeah, just
get
to
a
do
couple,
that.
Yeah, a couple
Nice.
stations that I had liked. So
Well, that was a good cross sell to you.
yeah.
So-
And I do have some important information here. Before we
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
She was not from the moon, Wonder Woman. She was from a mythical place.
She was from another planet, though, right?
No, she wasn't. She was from Earth, but she was related. It was a society of superhumans that were based on the Amazons in Greek mythology. So we're going back to Greek
Wow, we
mythology.
can't escape it.
Cannot escape it.
I
No.
didn't know they were in
So-
Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm glad you came up with it. So, but you know, yeah, I would say Sirius's situation isn't as bleak as what
No.
we were talking about. That would be like in the distant future. For
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
they're
Far
still
off, yeah.
viable. It's just that
And
the
who knows?
stock is too expensive.
The company itself may never go away. They may restructure even when it gets to that point.
Oh yeah,
And-
yeah.
and,
You never know, but right. You don't want to think of that as an investor.
No. But I could just see
Oh,
like,
yeah,
like
maybe there'll be a good zoo company or something like
yeah. I mean,
something
they could even
completely
stay
different.
in radio. You know, it may
Yeah.
be something. You know, where maybe they
Get into
build the-
internet radio.
Yeah, get into internet radio, and they already have the stations, or maybe, you know, as you said, cars are being put in with satellite radios. Maybe the infrastructure is become so strong that they are long lasting.
That could be. I mean, they spent billions of dollars getting those satellites up there.
Yeah.
When you add them up between the two companies. Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, so stay away. There is no money in those music stocks. If you can consider SiriusXM music stock, that's debatable.
But we
yeah.
are looking to make money here at the River's Edge. Though,
We
so
are
we
looking
can,
to make
yeah,
money.
you can email me, Brian Crawford at riversedgepgh.com if you want to sponsor the new age of radio.
Yes, do it.
Yes.
I highly recommend.
Yes, be like Frank's Pizza.
And with that, we're all out of funny money, folks. Thank you for listening.